Hello, and welcome to the Kathleen Spracklin podcast. I am a woman on a mission to assemble a cadre of writers, thinkers, and teachers who are transforming the world, one character at a time. And it all starts with one thing: a deep understanding of human motivation, why people do what they do, and the forces that drive them. This is episode number 14. The value circle and its role in achieving the good life. Yesterday in my podcast, I mentioned a debate among psychologists over which had the greatest influence in determining whether or not an individual will have the good life. One side said that it's external factors that have the greatest power, and the other side said, no, it's internal factors. It's the person's character traits and their values and virtues that say the most about whether they will have a good life or not. Well, today I wanted to bring up yet one other choice. That is the role of the three circles. The three circles was introduced to me by Stephanie Roy and Ken Caputo. They can be found at momentumlearning.info. They credit their mentor, John Fritz, as being the originator of the three circles of value. And they explain the three circles as follows. Your vitality has to do with your vigor, your energy, your general enthusiasm for life, what kind of strength and energy you have available to give to life. The relationship circle has to do with the people in your life and the meaningful relationships and the close connections that you have. The value circle has to do with your sense of fulfillment. To what degree do you feel that you are returning value to the world? John Fritz claims that if you have a value of 8 in each of those circles, when measured on a 1 to 10 scale, that's heaven on earth. Whereas if you have 2 in each of those circles, he says that's hell on earth. Well, if you do the math, you end up with what? 512 for your vitality, value, and relationship score? It's a pretty big number. But if you have 2s in each of those circles and you multiply them together, 2 times 2 times 2 is only 8. So it really shows you, and you can play with different values and see how quickly you can lose in total score by letting even one of those circles sag and get little attention. So I was wondering, what do you think has the most value in determining what's going to give someone a good life? I thought it was rather interesting that if you follow the 4 groups of character traits, such as what I teach in my 35-lesson course on YouTube, then you're familiar with the 4 character trait groups. Well, one of them, empathy, is all about relationships. So that aligns quite well with that circle. Another one that aligns quite well has to do with balance, because balance has an awful lot to do with the vitality, because your balance is all about your self-mastery, and that's very closely aligned with vitality. And the other 2 character trait groups, resilience and insight, do a pretty darn good job of combining to deliver that value circle. So I would say that a study of the character traits aligns mighty well with the 3 circles. I think in a way, personally, I would say that the 3 circles are easier to understand than a 35-lesson course on the character traits, but it's a little bit harder to translate into fiction writing. It's a little bit more difficult to get the emotions to resonate that you can get with the character traits because of their specificity. But if your focus is on achieving the good life, I think those 3 circles are probably a pretty good place to start. Thank you. See you tomorrow.